leaked footage of TayK getting caught escaping.
Well, that's not what happened. Everything went tragically wrong in there.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. TayK is only 20 and officially done for. He keeps on making the situation worse and worse, so be sure to like the video and comment the keyword to win the giveaway. Number 3. TayK.
I think it was part of a career move that went wrong.
Before we dive into the events of the court ruling against TayK, we need to understand all of what had led up to this event. That includes how TayK got into rap at all, because it clearly affected his path towards jail.
It raised the profile of Tamor Tay-K McIntyre in the end, also likely played a role in that prison sentence.
TayK's real name is actually Tamor Trayvon McIntyre. He was born in 2000. Yes, that means this kid is getting sentenced to a serious crime. And more of that later. He's not even 20 years old. And you wonder why people say that the world's doomed. You could also argue that TayK was doomed from the start as well, because though he was born into a full family in Long Beach, California, the family was anything but normal, or even safe when you think about it. I say that by meaning that his parents were both part of some very bad groups when he was born. Both were actually part of different groups in the California area. When TayK was very young, his father was actually arrested because of his involvement with some acts by said group. His mother moved TayK and his sister to Las Vegas when he was 8. And then when his father got released, his entire family moved to Arlington, Texas. Why? Well, because he wanted to find a safer environment for them to live in, hoping to get away from all the pain that the life that he and his wife had been giving them. If only it had come to pass that way.
What's up, bro? I see what you doing.
Heading back to TayK, he started to get into the rap beat when he was in his teens, eventually becoming part of a group known as Daytona Boys outside rappers Pimp C and Santana Sage. And in 2014, they released their first song called Drift on SoundCloud, which is still a very popular way of young artists trying to get their hits and views of their music before getting famous. But not unlike many up-and-coming stars, despite releasing a lot of music, they didn't get much traction on it. They were barely getting noticed at all, even though they were working hard to try and get their music out there. Because of this, TayK went solo and started to release his own songs on SoundCloud. This time though, it started to work. It was starting out slowly, but it was getting there. But he really got the attention, though, when he was arrested on capital charges. Because everyone loves to support certain rap stars when controversy is going on. This notion only grew when he was arrested and incarcerated. He actually released many songs from jail, and they hit the charts with a very big buzz. On December 14th of 2017, McIntyre's debut mixtape, Santana World, was re-released by 88 Classic and RCA Records, which was updated with a remix of his single, The Race, featuring vocals from rappers 21 Savage and Young Nudy. The Race was certified platinum by RAAA on January 19, 2018, making it one of the truly big hits for TayK in his young career. On February 2nd of 2018, McIntyre's official Twitter account tweeted 2 pictures of McIntyre, the first time he'd been seen since May of 2017. The following day, the song After You was released on McIntyre's SoundCloud account. It too was a hit on the platform, showing that people were really interested in him despite his tenuous status with the law. It was revealed on March of 2018 that McIntyre had earned around $600,000 to $700,000 with his record deal with 88 Classic. Following the creation of the No Jumper music label, TayK was featured alongside Blockboy JB and No Jumper's song Hard, which entered the bubbling under Hot 100 charts at number 14. TayK was featured on the short list for the 2018 XXL freshman list, so as you can see, his life has been anything but ordinary, which would be a good thing, but since his teenage years, TayK has been in major trouble with the law, and it's come to a head now in a way that'll probably end his career, and his life even. So how did this all come to be? I'll show you. Number 2. TayK versus the law.
I'm guilty that I knew that somebody was going to get threatened, but I'm not going to be guilty of a crime I didn't anticipate.
As we noted before here on King Trending, rappers often have a bad habit of being labeled as criminals even when they don't do anything, spreading a stigma that if you're a rapper, you're going to get arrested eventually. This is false. But very recent history has proven to us that a lot of rappers deserve that stereotype, and TayK is one of them. Because he's had a very long, terrible battle with the law, and a lot of it was his own fault. So where did this all start for him? Well, it was when he was a witness to the passing of 20-year-old Sarah Muchlechner by Daytona Boys member Eric Johnson, also known by his stage name, Santana Sage. TayK and Johnson had attended the same party as Muchlechner, not interacting until they had left. Johnson was driving through Denton when his black SUV pulled up with Muchlechner's car. TayK and another Daytona Boys member, Pimp C, began to call the Muchlechner sedan, which led to a man rolling down a window and confronting them. Johnson came off really aggressive, resulting in the drive away. The SUV chased Muchlechner and Johnson, and then ended her life. While Johnson was sentenced to 44 years in prison, TayK didn't have anything happen to him.
You see how serious these offenses are, don't you? You're going to spend some time in the penitentiary.
But this was just the start of it all. The real bad stuff started happening in July of 2016 when Tay-K and another member of his group were charged with a passing relating to a home invasion in Mansfield, Texas. According to reports, Megan Holt and Ariana Barat were allegedly part of a plan alongside Tay-K and friends to invade 19-year-old Zachary Belotes because these kind of things always go well. Allegedly, the pair planned to seduce him and then let them into the house where they were then going to take the money from him before leaving. This is seriously scaring me, folks, that people under 20 were thinking of this stuff. Anyway, once the pair unlocked the door and the men proceeded to invade Belote and his friend Ethan Walker, which led to the passing of Walker as they were attempting to leave. TayK was placed under house arrest until certification hearings were held, as he was under the age of 17 at the time. And of course, he couldn't be certified to be tried as an adult, and he wouldn't be allowed to get the maximum sentence for his crimes. So what did he do? Well, he ran away. A few days before certification hearings were held, TayK and another suspect in the case cut off their ankle monitors and fled to San Antonio. Oh, but he was smart and decided to broadcast his escape idea by posting it on Twitter before he cut off the ankle bracelet. I kid you not. Ironically, the person TayK escaped with got caught rather quickly, and he made his way to Elizabeth, New Jersey, where he recorded the song The Race, which then described as running from the police and his legal troubles. Yes, you heard it right. While on the run, he was still making music, and he released it while on the run. I'll give him props for that and guts and dedication. But his fun didn't last, because on June 30th of 2017, he was then captured by the US Marshals, effectively putting his wave of crime to an end. Sadly, they didn't catch him fast enough, for during his time on the run, he was accused of taking another life. The victim, 23-year-old Mark Salivar, was allegedly in a black SUV with TayK and several other passengers. He tried to get out and ask for help, but they didn't let him escape. He was then forced to defend himself, and his life was taken as a result. Still not enough for you? Well, TayK also allegedly held up a 65-year-old Oni Skip Pepe in Cravens Park, Arlington, on May 25th of 2017. McIntyre allegedly held a piece to Pepe before rendering him unconscious in the park, where Pepe was later found by a jogger. Via photo lineup, TayK was pointed out as the perpetrator. TayK was then transferred to an adult jail on July 21st of 2017. A preliminary certification hearing to decide upon TayK's status as a juvenile was then held on August 30th of 2017. Trent Lofton, a lawyer for TayK, said to New York Times that TayK was optimistic and they were confident that he would be exonerated of his charges. It was decided that TayK would be tried as an adult in the case. The trial was eventually pushed back due to the lack of evidence. We just concluded the certification transfer hearing for Mr. McIntyre. The judges ruled that this case should be moved to an adult court case based on his age, and the fact that the juvenile court will lack jurisdiction soon. The judge was very clear to tell Mr. McIntyre on the record that his decision had no bearing whatsoever of his guilt/innocence in the case. After a full day of hearings, with numerous officers testifying under oath, officers testified that there was no evidence that Mr. McIntyre engaged in any violent act or possessed any weapons. Mr. McIntyre remains upbeat after hearing this. I believe once all the evidence is presented, Mr. McIntyre will be exonerated of all charges. We look forward to moving ahead. Later in 2017, TayK had even more charges piled up against him via the various crimes mentioned above. Honestly, folks, I'm just getting tired of listening to all of these things about TayK, but this is the truth. You're now seeing how disturbed this young man was and is. And yeah, we aren't done yet. Early in 2018, one of the accomplices in the incident that ended with a man losing his life was arrested. The accomplice, Megan Holt, pleaded guilty to the charges and agreed to testifying against her co-defendants in exchange for a 20-year sentence. Considering her roles in the event, that's a good deal, and she was smart to take it. Which led to May of 2018, where Letharina Moret was sentenced to life without parole after being convicted of capital charges. Adding to that, in August of 2018, Ariana Barat pleaded guilty to the other charges and agreed to testify against her co-defendants in exchange for a 25-year sentence. You see where we're going with this right now? Sean Robinson later on pleaded guilty to capital charges and was sentenced to 40 years in prison. Finally, the last member of the crew, not named TayK, Jalen Bell, pleaded guilty to aggravated charges and was sentenced to 30 years in prison. With all of his co-conspirators behind bars, TayK found himself in quite the bind. His lawyer tried to work out a deal with him to get out of it, or at least try to be a minor, but the judge wouldn't budge on the matter. On May 24th of 2018, he did get one break. It was confirmed that TayK wouldn't have to face the capital punishment for his crimes. McIntyre's accomplice, Letharina Moret, was sentenced to life in prison on May 26th of 2018. It was the belief that the prosecution that she was the one who took the man's life based on the testimony of her co-conspirators. As for TayK, was charged with the possession of a prohibited item while in jail on August 2nd of 2018, after a mobile phone was found hidden in his sock during a search. Why do people try and get away with contraband? It rarely works. Anyway, eventually TayK was taken to a maximum security prison via Lon Evans Correction Center, where he spent 23 hours in solitary confinement with 1 hour a day for the gym on August 14th of 2018. For the record, that's a lot of solitary confinement, and that can weigh on a person. You think that given all that, he would not try and cause any more trouble? Nope. He caused way more trouble, including after getting a break of being let out from solitary. He decided to use that free time to break just about every rule that he could, including calling out a sergeant in the prison. Do I have to define how stupid that that is. Oh, and get this. He still wasn't done fighting the law. TayK had been involved in 2 lawsuits as the result of his alleged participation in these murders. In June 2018, the family of Mark Salivar, the victim, filed a wrongful passing lawsuit seeking more than $1 million in damages. And in July of 2018, the family of Ethan Walker and the survivor Zachary Blount sued McIntyre and his record label 88 Classics for the profits following Walker's passing. Seeing all of this, hearing about all that he was doing and what he was charged with, you can understand now that he's never going to escape justice forever, right? He had to be arrested, charged, and sentenced. And in July 2019, he was finally sentenced for various crimes. Number 1, found guilty.
McIntyre will be eligible for parole, but he'll have to serve half of that sentence, 27.5 years.
In July of 2019, TayK tried to get ahead of things by pleading guilty, of which he would serve some serious time. But now he's been convicted by a Texas jury of 2 serious charges. These 4 charges each carry a potential sentence from about 5 to 99 years each. So even if he somehow got the minimum, he would be spending at least the next 16 years in jail. And that's likely not going to happen though, because his very long record speaks for itself. He's been going through all sorts of trouble to keep getting into trouble. There's no one out there that would speak to his character, that would convince the judges of the facts that have happened. He's going away, and honestly, that's probably the best thing right now. TayK has done too much, and there's no way of escaping this. So there you have it. A look at the prison sentencing of TayK and how it all led up to this. Are you happy with the sentencing that TayK got? Do you want him to serve as much time as possible in jail for what he did? Or do you think that he won't get as much time as other people expect? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on King Trending. A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.